Hi, everybody. So happy to be back. Don't worry, every month's introduction will not be as long as last month. I just wanted to say hello and remind you all that I am doing that 11/11 special. So you get 2 cards for whatever focus you want. I write it as an email reading, and it's $11.11 to celebrate that we are over 11,000 people strong on my channel. It's such a gift. So if you go to the homepage of my website, everything is there for you to do that. Also, I am opening another Siren Squad support. If you go to my services and go to written services, that's an email assistance service that I'm offering starting. It started November 1st, and I'm also offering one for the 15th of December. I am also still looking for women of color to collaborate with on a jewelry and clothing front. Please only contact me if you have a fully functioning site and everything, because if people like the product that I'm wearing, I want them to be able to go find you and buy it. So if you don't have, a website or an Etsy store or anything like that, it's going to be hard for us to collaborate. I do have a brand that I'm working with in December, but I need people for next year. Also, if you feel comfortable commenting what I'm about to say below, if not, email me. In 2018, I would like to come and meet as many people in the US as I possibly can. I'm definitely looking to do an East Coast tour, potentially a West Coast tour as well. So if you can let me know where you guys are located and if you'd like for me to have an event in your city, please comment below where you are, especially if you're in the US. Okay, I can't do international yet, but that is a goal. So comment below. Definitely East Coast, potentially West Coast. Let's see where you guys are, and I'll see what I can get conjured up for you all. And let's get into love. All right, Sagittarius. So as I was connecting to your energy, we got the Strength card and the Knight of Cups fall out of the deck, okay? Now, it's important that you don't go to war for love, if that makes sense. I know that your general reading this month was take notes, like collect data, don't do much, don't say much, right? Your strength this month relies not in your passivity, like it's not that you're being passive, but the Knight of Cups moves on the slower side, not as slow as the Knight of Pentacles, but they take their time, and if you notice, they're looking over their shoulder, okay? They're not really paying attention to where they're going. Like, they already know they're headed in the right direction, but they're not completely focused on the future. So if you're dealing with a Knight of Cups, like, it's important you, which would be, a water sign that had a more, I don't want to say immature, but they have things to learn in love. Make sure that they're, they might not have the strength of focus that you do on this relationship, or vice versa. And if you look at this Strength card, this person is really decked out and ready to slay, whatever dragon or beast that comes in between that and what they want. And there's this yellow sun looking thing in the back, which kind of brings me to feel that the Sun card is present. So when it comes to your children, as well as your happiness, right? Be mindful that you know what you're leaving behind as well as where you're headed. Okay? So don't be too headstrong, right? Take your time. That's why I said, right? I said don't go to war. Don't put up your arms right away. You're taking a slower approach to things this month because things are starting to blossom, but it is Scorpio season. It's right before your season, and it's this energy here of it's not oh, it's too good to be true or anything like that. It's just like a necessary precautionary energy. Okay? Yeah, because then I cut the deck and there's a 5 of Cups. So you know, and then I cut the deck again, it's Three of Swords. So don't go to battle, right? Or kind of like put yourself in a position where you have to defend the choices that you've made in love, or why you love who you love, and things like that. Just go day by day, step by step. Again, looking forward, looking behind, looking forward, looking behind. Not behind you in a sense of like, oh, you're longing for the past. But it's just almost to make sure no one's creeping up behind you a little bit. Okay? All right, Sagittarius. So, the overall energy for love for the month of November is romantic feelings. Now, based on the cards that I have here, I really think this month you're being called to work on your solar plexus chakra and your personal boundaries, and being honest with yourself about where you give up your power, where you do the most to try to gain power externally, in the ways in which you neglect empowering yourself before going forward and matching with a partner. Because though there is someone that you have romantic feelings for, I feel as though this is more about seeing what place within you, right? The vibrational reality internally of you that you're using to attract your partners. The overall energy, again, becomes the Strength card. Okay, so you may be involved with a Leo or a water sign. Obviously, it can be, you know, anybody. But, so, in the past, Spirit presented the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Now, almost all these cards are yellow toned. Okay, so that's why I brought up what I did. And there's just this need to tend to your own personal power before tending to someone else. And anything that is faltering within a relationship or beginning to form, what is going to fuel it, right? To either strengthen or dissolve if need be. And, you know, is encompassed in how much you value yourself and what actions you do or do not take to honor that value. The Page of Pentacles talks about an opportunity or the relationship that you have with the other person that you parent with that you're getting clear on. So the Ace of Swords here is actually pointing down, right? And it cuts through the head and you see the sun shining bright. So there are no more questions, I feel, on what you can and cannot get out of this relationship. Or if you don't have any relationship, it's realizing what is preventing or what has prevented that opportunity from just going, you know, from being a seed to being, you know, a fertilized plant. Notice how the sword is cutting into the roses, the flowers, right? And there's a butterfly there. So it talks about being able to transform, right? Overgrown weeds, right? And overgrown, ingested. I feel like all those words apply here. Mind with the light of day, which I almost feel is going to burn away that which is already dead or that which is constricting the truth. Okay, your clarity. And the Page of Pentacles only has a few flowers blown, right? She's putting the coin in her purse. So this is saying you still have a ways to go. This is just merely the beginning of a manifestation, okay? Or you may be clear on why, again, I said, you haven't been able to grow anything beyond what you have. But with the Strength here, again, there's this feeling of like, don't push or fight for something because you may not even know exactly what you're fighting for. But also to find your own personal strength. It's like, don't have an external strength, have an internal strength. Okay? In the present, we have Santa Muerte, or the Death card, clarified by the Five of Pentacles. So, I do think it's going to be difficult to hold on to your relationships this month if they were already rocky, okay? Or if they were already like in limbo, okay? This is also talking about you realizing how you've allowed yourself to get stepped on in a way, right? Walked all over. How you've allowed that, and that has made you feel isolated and or disconnected from love in general, or your partner. Or your partner is making you feel this way. Or you could be making your partner feel this way. I can't help but pay attention to the cradle in the pregnancy in the death card in this deck. And it's very divine. Like the shape of the archway that this woman is standing in the middle of is so reminiscent of a church arch. And divine death is divine life. Okay? To keep yourself separate from source, to keep yourself separate from divine love, is to restrict yourself the opportunity of birthing a new reality, a new understanding of love, a new relationship, okay? A renewal in relationship. She's also holding a hourglass on her right arm. So time is at work here, okay? Divine time. And she's standing there in prayer, like you need to be patient through separation. And I don't say that to mean like wait around for somebody to reconcile with you that you have romantic feelings for, but you need to reflect on and be willing to transmute and transform through this fact that if we feel lonely, we can blame X, Y, and Z for leaving us lonely, but it's very simple to be alone and not feel lonely. Loneliness is separate from aloneness. So you have to connect deeper with yourself and figure out what it is that has you feeling so lonely, because you can also be very lonely in a room full of people or in a relationship. And through that, you will begin to gestate, right? And this is like the 9th month period. Like you're beginning to come into full gestation of a new you. All right? In the future, we have Temperance, which is your card, Sag, clarified by the 10 of Swords. So that ushers in a pure surrender, especially of your way of thinking about love and the love opportunities that you have in your life. For sure. Absolutely. Because a little bit your mind had gotten overgrown, right? With a lot of ideals of self or lack of ideals of self or false beliefs about self. And you understand that, again, without caring about yourself, Sagittarius, oh, I love this too, because this woman has like no painting or anything on her face. She has no hair. She has none of that. And this woman has wings, like almost like she just, like the phoenix, like rose, and the sun, again, is breaking over the dawn, over this temple, right? And this woman is essentially in a temple, like I was saying. So when you come out of the darkness, Sagittarius, you will need to be patient with yourself on how long it takes to integrate this new sense of self that you have discovered, okay, through your isolation and separateness, through reflecting on the romantic feelings that you've had or the lack of feelings that you've had, the dissonance that you've been feeling, and you understand that real strength is not aggression. It is not going forward and being very like demanding or argumentative, or even with just straight up withdrawing, not being willing to at all put up any type of stand. You realize there has to be a temperament of that, right? You have to temper your approach. Balance is required. You need to be considerate of not only you, but that somebody else is involved. Any relationships always require compromise in some capacity because two people are involved. And that doesn't mean that you continue to compromise with someone that has no interest in compromising, but it's just the idea of being patient to find the right formula that's going to kind of feed the seeds that you have planted. Okay? Hope that makes sense to everybody. And I hope you like this new deck that I'm using. My 1111 clients have been getting this deck as well. Let's get you a vibrational harmony card. I will not try to control the uncontrollable. There we go, Sag. We want you to reach the place where you are willing, not just willing, determined, not just determined, eager, to let go of the need to control things that are uncontrollable, like what anybody else is doing, and give your undivided attention to the only thing you can control, which is how you feel in any given circumstance. In other words, we want you to leave this moment saying, I've decided that I'm going to take life as it comes, and I'm going to do the best that I can do in the midst of what I am doing. I feel like that effortlessly wrapped up your reading. Sagittarius, it's been a pleasure, and I'll check with you soon. Peace.